I'm gonna stop it right there before I get this taken down via copyright, and I don't want that happening. But yeah, that is correct. We are at Daytona for the start of the Phantom Racing League 2023 season. Back in the 1940s, 50s, NASCAR used to race on the beaches of Daytona alongside the coastline next to the hotel, and Bill France Sr. decided he didn't want to do that shit no more and decided to build a racetrack. A pretty big one, and that is the Daytona International Speedway. They ran the first Daytona 500 here back in 1959, and they've been running races here ever since, as well as races like the Rolex 24 Hours. Legends have won races at Daytona, such as the great Greg Sachs, Derek Cope, Michael McDowell, Trevor Bayne, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Now that we got our practice jitters out of the way for our first 2 weeks, now it's time to get down to brass tacks here. It is the official start of the Phantom Racing League 2023 season. As everyone's about to get their engines fired up here, let's take a look at our starting lineup. For tonight, they just wrapped up qualifying here, and starting on the pole is MJ Bross, also known as Mike RPM. In car number 4, he is starting on the pole at a 45.418 lap time, and alongside him on the outside front row is the number 12 of 19mm Foria at a 45490 as his lap time. As we look through the rest of the starting lineup, row number 2 is the 53 of Loaderman, 501. Starting next to him in 4th is Bad Fast 43 in the number 48 car for Hendrick Motorsports. On the 3rd row, we got FRR Shovelhead 81 in the Stewart-Haas Racing number 14. And in 6th place, Elvin Priest, the owner of the Phantom Racing League, in that Rick Ware Racing number 51 car. Starting on row 4, Black Cross 73 in the Hendrick Motorsports number 24 Chevrolet. And on his outside is D-Bat Baseball 20, as he makes his return to the Phantom Racing League here for the start of the 2023 season. He is back in the Wood Brothers Racing number 21 Ford Mustang. Row 5, MFF Ed, though, in car number 1 for Chip Ganassi Racing. He starts 9th, and on his outside is his teammate, MFF Nomad, in car number 8 for Richard Childress Racing. Starting at 11th, Motorsports Fan in the 32 car. It's a pair of Fords in row 6, so next to him is the 38, a Showtime Flash. And starting shotgun on the field, I believe Hamlin Nation, since he missed out on qualifying, he'll be starting from the rear. So that is your starting lineup for tonight. We'll take a quick break for a second, make sure we get everything situated, and we'll get into quality action here, so sit tight. Alright, the drivers just finished with their driver's briefing, their quick roll call, and everyone is ready to go for the start of the Phantom Racing League season here in 2023 at Daytona. We had 12 cars take time in qualifying, but we got 2 extra cars that came in late, but they're here and ready to race, so they'll be starting shotgun on the field. And I mentioned they were MFF Hamlin Nation in the Gibbs number 18, as well as I believe Big Country in the 88 car. Once again, it is MJ on the pole, with the 12 car on his outside, 19mm, followed by Loaderman, Bad Fast, Shovelhead, and Elvin. The green flag waves, and the Phantom Racing season is underway here at Daytona. Already starting to fan out as they roar down the back straightaway. Past the lake and into turn 3, and a big push sends Mike up the track. He was getting hung up to dry quite a bit last week in the practice race. Almost happened again here, but Mike does not let it happen. And I think Loaderman was kind enough to let him back in line. It is pretty early in the race. And Mike leads lap number 1. Loaderman pushing him, as well as the 14 of Shovelhead. Running in the 3rd spot, MFF Nomad up to 4th. He's looking to take over the outside, maybe. And he does. To the outside. Down the back straightaway, cuts in front of the 48 car. Now he's going to lead the charge on the outside lane. Side by side with Black Cross. And we might have a 3-car breakaway already. Let's see if that outside lane can get formed up here. There's the one of MFF Ed. He's going to get passed by the 21 of D-Bat Baseball in that Wood Brothers car. So he's going to the back here. This could be a strategy play, maybe trying to hang back a little bit. No reason to be racing this hard this early on. Him and Flash might have the same game plan here. We already have a car that's lost the pack. And it is the 18 of MFF Hamlin Nation. And that M&M's car. Running all by himself. Now it's not ideal to be behind that far back this early on. He could be in danger of going a lap down in this first stage. So all he can hope for is maybe he gets some cautions his way to get him caught back up here. As looks like the bottom lane's starting to come alive here. No one was able to make the outside work, so they're just going to go to the bottom and run single file. All aboard the Stock Car Express down the Daytona backstretch. So one long and squiggly choo-choo train into 3. Mike up the track again. Big Country sees that as an opportunity. He's going to try to get his draft and push him forward. He's thinking of going back to the bottom. He goes back to the top, back to the bottom again. Elvin Priest with a push from Nomad. He's going to go to the bottom as well. Nomad tucks behind with him. Country trying to keep his car straight as Mike RPM gets shuffled back in line. And now we have a new race leader. Oh, he's in the wall. Gets it tidied up. Gets it in the draft, so we should be good. Country looking to make a move again. Let's see if anyone goes with them. Elvin and Nomad. Oh, and he's in the wall. It's a big track, but not a whole lot of racing room here at Daytona. So won't be seeing a whole lot of, it's tough to run side by side at a track as narrow as Daytona, even with the double yellow line. You definitely, these guys are brave enough, dare I say 3 wide at a track like this. How treacherous it can be making contact with these cars. Like bouncy beach balls. Anytime they touch door to door. Country alongside Mike here. He's left all alone on the outside. Same with Bad Fast. Trying to make something happen. He tucks back in line behind the 38 of Flash. That'll have him running in the 8th spot. Back to the top he goes, Blackcross. I looked away for a second, I'm not sure what happened to the 24, but it looked like he checked up. The 48 read it as an opportunity there, but thought better of it, tucks back to the bottom. Alright, he's building up another run here, full head of steam in a 3. Let's see what kind of momentum he's got. Anyone going with him? No. Now this could be just him trying to see how much of a run his car is able to build with the draft. Some of these guys building runs, moving to the outside. This could just be them trying to see how good their cars are in the draft, how good they are by themselves. It's also getting everyone else's attention to see who can work with me later on in the race when it comes down to crunch time. We have a little bit of a breakaway country. The 88 holding up the 1 of Ed, the 32 of Motorsports Fan, and the 21 of D-Bat. We saw the 24 Blackcross drop way to the back. Oh, and the 1 gets cut off by the 88. Things are looking a little disorganized further back. They're trying to stay away from the eye of the storm. Maybe the eye of storm is right where they are. As the 32 moves to the back of that line. Ed to the outside. D-Bat goes with him. Blackcross stays low. And the 32 tucks in behind him. No, he's changed his mind down the backstretch. Let's check back in with the lead pack here. It is still Loaderman out in front. Ahead of FRR Shovelhead. And 19mm running in 3rd. Elvin Priest in 4th. And Loaderman completes your top 5. Ed now leads that pack. As the top 8 cars have broken away. Ed is the 9th place car ahead of D-Bat. Motorsports Fan, Blackcross, Big Country taking up the caboose. Once again, Hamlin Nation in that 18 car. Struggling early on, already lost the draft. He's in 1 and 2 right now. Let's see where the leaders are currently. They're just coming across the tri-oval. Mike runs in the 8th spot, tucked in behind Bad Fast. 22 laps remain in stage 1. We should have at least 1 or 2 pit stops. So that way these guys can get in for fuel, make it to the end of the stage. So far not a whole lot happening. It's the calm before the storm, as they usually say at tracks like this. No reason to race super hard this early on, with cars racing as close as they do at a track like Daytona. One small misstep can have massive, massive consequences. We've all seen it, the history of this racetrack as well as Talladega. And I can already tell when I was in the party earlier that as much as everyone wants to be racing in this league, I don't think there was a single person that was looking forward to racing Daytona. As a fan, I look forward to it, but I can guarantee I'm glad I'm not in this race myself, because I would hate to be running this track right now. But what a way to get the season started. Nomad down to the inside. His car got a little side happy there. His car looking a little free right now, but he's back in line in the 5th spot, I believe. Yes, 5th. Right behind Elvin in the 51 car in 4th. So it is still Loaderman in that 53 Chevrolet. leading the two Fords of Shovelhead and 19mm. It's not often you see Chevrolets and Fords working together. But here they are. So here's MJ Bross, and I keep referring to him as Mike RPM because that's just how I know him as. That's how a lot of people know him as. Of course, the former NASCAR Heat Pro League driver. So he's a very accomplished racer in his own right in that series. Of course, even after the Pro League, he sticks around, still races a lot within the community. And here he is, racing in the Phantom League, so that should tell you a lot about the competition here. Let's check back in with that second pack here. Right now it is D-Bat, Ed, a Motorsports fan, then Black Cross, Ed, and Big Country. Once again, another... It's not a Cortex, there's 5 of them. What's the 5 term for a quartet? I don't know. I'm too stupid for that. Well, it's a quartet now, since the 88 of Country has dropped back. A little too far back. Let's see if he can... Uh-oh, he might be losing the draft here. Not sure what happened to the 88 of Country. But here he is, outside of the draft of Ed's car, and that won. He might be having a lag issue. He's kind of zigzagging across the banking. And could not be a worse place to have a lag spike than here at Daytona. So, tough break for Country in that Valvoline Chevrolet. And I mentioned that, oh, there's Hamlin Nation. I was actually just about to get to him. He's the lone Toyota in this race, in that number 18 car. Just thought I'd mention that. So he has absolutely no help among manufacturer support whatsoever. I can't believe Joe Gibbs Racing would completely let him hang out to dry like that, which would explain why he's out there by himself. He has no manufacturer support. He's got no teammates to help him. And this poor M&M's Toyota. They might melt in your mouth, but the amount of pressure that car is feeling, they're probably melting all over the racetrack. It might cause a huge accident, which would give the 18 a massive break. But this will definitely have an effect on the leaders, who are closing in fast. With that draft, they are going much faster in the draft than the 18 is, and it looks like pit stops are underway. The 12 is in, the 51 is in, the 53, the 14, and the 8. Oh, and there's contact being made as everyone's tucking in line. Let's take a look at these pit stops. I see the 4 stayed out, as well as the 48 of Badfast. And I think the 38 of Showtime flashes also. Oh, crash! They're crashing in their pit stalls. We've been over this last week. I was hoping this wouldn't happen again. What a disaster. Every single pit stop. Bit unorthodox here in the Phantom Racing League. These guys like to pit sideways in their own door contact between the Rick Ware teammates coming off pit road. And the 51's going to come out ahead of Loaderman. We'll tuck in right behind the 12 of 19mm. And it looks like Badfast, Mike RPM, and Showtime Flash are all coming in on pit road. Ed's coming out, Motorsports fan exiting as well, D-Bat in the 21 Wood Brothers car. I imagine since tire wear is not really an issue at a track like this, guys would opt to either take right sides only or just go for fuel. And I believe that's what these guys are doing. I think Badfast, I'm looking at his right now. I'm going to call him out here. He's taking right sides, so hopefully none of his competitors are listening to me right now. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Yeah, I think the 48 came off the apron He might have carried a little too much speed. Maybe he was trying to avoid hitting the 4 car, because I think you're supposed to stay below the double yellow line until the back straightaway if you're coming off the pit road. So, we'll have to see how race control looks at that. But Showtime Flash cycles to the lead here in that number 38 car. If I can get to him, there he is. But he's all by himself, a sitting duck. And these cars with a full head of steam are just going to eat him up on the outside. And it's a land rush into turn 1. Everyone's going to drive right by him. Absolutely no help given to Flash, but not to worry because he's got a fast enough car to where he doesn't have to worry about that. So he's just going to tuck it in line behind the 48 car of Bad Fast. And that's going to cycle FRR's own Shovelhead to the front, leading the outside for a change. And a push from a fellow Ford, a 19mm, as well as the Rick Ware Chevrolets of Elvin Priest and Loaderman. Oh, a little hip check given a Mike from the 53 of Loaderman down past the tri-oval. As Loaderman is hung up to dry on the outside hill, dropped to the back of this line right now. Once again, it is still FRR Shovelhead out in front, leading the 12. Oh, might have got the apron a little bit. That moves him up the track. He's going to go back down. Rest of the line checked up behind him, and that's what's formed the second lane, led by Mike RPM. Bad Fast in tow behind him. And of course, there's Loaderman and Flash are also on the outside as well. It's going to be tough telling the 38 and the 53 apart because they're both plainly white cars. Oh my goodness. Maybe I'm the one that's lagging. That's not good. So it is still Shovelhead out in front. I had a 19mm, then Elvin, then Showtime Flash, then Loaderman, MJ Bros, and Bad Fast. As those two are still trying to make something happen on the outside. Let's check back in with that other pack here. Black Cross, a sitting duck on in the tri-oval right now, hoping to not go a lap down. So he must have had something happen during that sequence of pit stops, whether it was a penalty, whether he just took 4 tires, lost some time on the pit stop that way. Not entirely sure what happened to him, but he's running all by himself right now, as is. Well, we got some tandem drafting here between the 21 and the 88. D-Bat Baseball and Big Country working together, as well as this 2-car tango of Motorsports Fan and MFF Ed, though. Another solo dancer is the MFF Nomad Machine, sponsored by Childress Vineyards, on the car this weekend. Running all by himself currently. Now, if I am having lag issues, I'm going to try to see if I can rejoin during the stage break, and hopefully that'll reset things. But I'm going to see and hope this smoothens out before then, so I don't have to do that. Meanwhile, got another hard charge on the outside. That is Showtime Flash, leading a quartet of cars against that trio on the bottom, led by Shovelhead. They've been having a hard time making that pass for the lead ever since Shovelhead got it from the top rope. He's been in control ever since. There's more cars on the top, though, some pretty fast ones, so maybe this could be their shot if they keep it orderly. Past the palm trees off turn 4 into the tri-oval. Showtime Flash. Shovelhead dead even heat at the line. It's still Shovelhead out in front, but Showtime Flash has a door on him. Dead heat into 1. They're getting ever so close to clearing that 14 car. That's the closest they've gone so far. Battle of the two freight trains. Oh, a little bit of a momentum loss on the outside. The bottom's fighting back. Loaderman has betrayed the top. He's moved back to the bottom to reunite with his Rick Ware teammate of Elvin Priest in that 51 car. Once again, we are at Daytona for the season opener of the Phantom Racing League 2023 season. As you can see the action here at Daytona, everyone getting single file. As we're still in stage number 1, still very, very early in this race. That is Shovelhead out in front in that Stewart-Haas number 14 Ford. Ahead of 19mm, who's been in second since the start. About 5 laps to go in stage 1. Well, that 53 is doing a lot of hip checking. Look out, Flash and Mike are noticing that as well. Another chance at the top they go. Those cars are on the edge, absolute. They are not making it easy right now. You can see all those cars are an absolute handful through 3 and 4. Once again, another hard charge from those 3 cars on the outside. Let's see if they can make it work this time. 4 to go. They got a sight of lap cars in front of them. 4 to go. Let's see if they can catch them in time. We'll see how much of a factor they will be. 38 Tuck's back in line. As we see Showtime Flash, he is really looking to make something happen here. He is not content riding behind the back of Loaderman. He's not looking to hold hands with these guys. He's wanting to go to the front. He's tried it a couple occasions with no success. As we see the 2 lap cars up ahead. 2 laps to go before we reach the end of this stage, and we'll have a caution break. Oh, we got Loaderman's going to try to make a move this time, but Flash is too far behind to follow him. This could hurt Loaderman's chances, but there's a big gap in between unless Flash can close it up. That door is now shut. And the window of opportunity just closed shut on Loaderman as he drops back in line. That's going to be some points lost. For the stage here, 1 to go. Shovelhead has been in front since the sequence of pit stops. Let's see if 19mm or Elvin can try to make a move for the stage win. Get themselves those precious points. Got the 2 lap cars up ahead of MFF Ed and Motorsports Fan. Let's see if those guys are trying to do something to stay on the lead lap. Ed's going to try to block Shovelhead up the track, and he gets into the wall. Oh, and Elvin and Badfast down to the apron. As Ed and Motorsports Fan are trying to do everything they can to stay on the lead lap, and I think they did it. Motorsports definitely did, and I'm not sure about Ed, but either way, That is playoff points to 19mm for ya in that Advanced Auto Parts Ford Mustang. The winner of stage number 1. Holy cow. Like I said earlier, it was the calm before the storm. And we just had our first lightning strike in the last lap of stage 1. So it is 19mm, the stage winner, ahead of Mike RPM in that 4 car, Showtime Flash in 3rd, Loaderman 4th, Elvin Priest 5th, Bad Fast 6th, Shovelhead, who was leading that entire stint up until the last lap, will fall all the way to 7th place, and then Black Cross, who we saw riding all by his lonesome, will come home in the 8th position. And then D-Bat and Big Country round out the top 10. And it looks like Motorsports Fan did maintain the lead lap position. MFF Ed did not, which means he will be the lucky dog under this caution as we rack him up and try it again. It is stage number 2 here at Daytona. 19mm is your leader. As we see a big train on the outside. All those cars that lost the draft early on, this is their chance to make themselves known. MFF Hamlin Nation in that 18 car. We saw him drop way to the back at the very start. Here he is in the mix. Oh, and Loaderman up into the wall. And that might be a costly, I'm not sure if that was a lag spike. Or if he just got put in the wall there. I'm not entirely sure what happened here. Now he just got hung out, got put in the middle. It actually was a lag spike from the 18 of Hamlin Nation. Looking at Bad Fast's point of view, that's actually exactly what happened. So a massive, massive tough break to Loaderman, as I believe Race Control has given the call to MFF Hamlin Nation to get out of the way, as he is having lag issues in stage number 2, and this must be absolutely deflating considering this was his chance to get back in the fight after, I believe, losing a lap in stage 1. I think he might still be a lap behind. I'm not entirely sure where he's scored at the moment, but this is a tough, tough break. Big Country in the 88. Dropping back in line. There's Elvin Priest in that 51 car. To the outside. He's looking for a dancing partner. This is an open invitation to the prom. No one's accepting it. Except for maybe the Big Country. This also could be Elvin's plan to drop to the back and just hang tight. He got some pretty good points in stage 1, so he doesn't feel the need to stay up there for a little while longer. He's gonna try to regroup, wait this one out, and plan the attack for stage 3. He's got MFF Ed though, our lucky dog car in that Gear Wrench Chevrolet, as they're looking to be losing the draft. So it is 19mm. Oh my god. Those cars are on the edge. Absolute craziness. They are pushing them to the absolute limit, and that's exactly why you see them all over this racetrack. These guys are gladiators. Gladiators in constant battle against each other here at Daytona. Black Cross is going to fall out of line here. Now, I'm not sure what the situation might be. I'm looking at Bad Fast's point of view currently, and it looks a lot smoother than mine. So I apologize for these technical difficulties if these are in fact on my end. So we'll see if maybe there's a window for me to try to troubleshoot this, but right now it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot happening currently. It is still 19mm, your race leader, that Advanced Auto Parts Ford. Leading in that 38 car, Shovelhead. Oh, big swing from Country. Not sure if that was lag or if that was just him losing control of the car. My goodness. I think that was the latter because you saw the 21 duck out of line. Try to avoid that. Anyway, your running order. 19mm in the lead. The 38 is Showtime Flash in second. Shovelhead in third. Motorsports Fan, who was able to hold on to the lead lap at the end of stage 1, finds himself up in the top 5. Then you got MJ and Bad Fast, and I believe MFF Nomad right behind him. Black Cross, Big Country, D-Bat Baseball, Big Country. Uh-oh. Big contact for Country, sends him down to the pit lane. As the trajectory of his race takes a massive nosedive. And I believe the 18 of Hamlin Nation might have retired from this race after his lag issues, which was very, very unfortunate. Not how he wanted his season to start. While things are getting organized here, single file, doesn't seem like anything's really happening here. Here's what's going to happen. I am going to close out this session. I have other invites that I can get back in the session for. 19 up the track, maybe not. Hold on. That's our race leader on the outside with no pushing help, as he'll fall to the tail end of the line here. New leader, Showtime Flash in that 38 car. Shovelhead second, Motorsports Fan in third. Alright, 19's dropped to the back here. Not sure if that was by design or if he just got a big shove from the 38 that got him out of shape. Not sure what happened. Either way, I'm going to take a quick break here. Try not to miss too much here as I try to sort out this issue. Alright, take 2. Alright, 19 laps to go in stage 2. It's still Showtime Flash out in front, ahead of Shovelhead, ahead of Motorsports Fan. MJ Bross in 4th, Bad Fast in 5th, Nomad 6th, D-Bat Baseball in 7th. That is your current running order at the moment. Everyone's still single file. Bad Fast getting a big push from Nomad. D-Bat swings to the outside, but he tucks back in. Alright, so hopefully that fixed it. If not, then I don't know what to do. And another big swing and a miss. The 21 car of D-Bat Baseball. Luckily he tucks back in line and stays in the dugout, otherwise he'd be out of this ball game. So here's 19mm, our stage 1 winner. Lost the draft, along with Black Cross and the 24 Exalta Chevrolet. As we got ourselves a little math equation here. It's a 2-car tango. 12 times 2 does equal 24. And if you want to divide them up, 24 divided by 2 is 12. Now, if I am correct, I believe 19mm is in the 8th position right now. Loaderman, the 53, we saw what happened to him earlier. Got put up against the wall at the beginning of stage 2. Finds him all by himself. Here's another dancing duo of Ed and Elvin. The 1 and the 51 further back in the running order. Trying to keep themselves alive in this race. Or at least trying to get the best result they can so they can get the hell out of here and get ready for the next race. Any other cars? Document here. Once again, MFF Hamlin Nation out of this race, as well as Big Country. We just saw crash out of turn 4, diving into pit road at full speed. That car just did not look like it was in the racetrack, so miss on the setup. We'll dial it back in and try to run it again. We'll come back next week if possible, so not how he wanted his season to start either, but unfortunately that is how racing goes. Nomad painting those yellow lines off turn number 2. All aboard the Showtime Flash Express, as he is the conductor of this train here at Daytona. Leading this pack, it is a quartet of Fords, leading 2 Chevrolets, and then you got another Ford at the caboose. That's the 21 Wood Brothers car. You have D-Bat. As we have about 14 laps to go in this second stage here. Under this green flag condition, we should have a cycle of pit stops coming up here, as these guys are getting pretty close to their fuel window. The question is, since there's about 7 of them in this pack, will they all pit at the same time? How many of them will pit? How many of them will try to go another lap? D-Bat peeking to the inside of Nomad, who's trying to hold his line on the inside. Bad Fast backing it up a little bit. Now, I will say the car's further back in this draft because they're getting a much bigger pole. They can save a lot more fuel than Showtime Flash can, because Showtime Flash, he's not getting a pull from anybody because he is the race leader. Therefore, he is full throttle all the way around this racetrack, meaning he is burning way more fuel. As for guys like Mike RPM, Bad Fast, Nomad, and D-Bat, D-Bat probably has the best view of it. Those guys can save more and more fuel just by riding around at half throttle and just let the draft do all the work. I believe pit stops are underway. We saw Loaderman in. Nomad, I think, came in all by himself. No one else came with him, as he's looking to short pit this pack. One 9mm also came in with Black Cross. I think we saw Elvin in. Eden came in as well. One car also up on the banking. I'll have to consult with race control, see how that's going to be officiated. D-Bat in. Oh, motorsports fans, sideways! And we just caught the tail end of it. You might lose some track time here, as the leaders, D-Bat, Mike RPM, Shovelhead, Oh, and more contact for When will it end for these guys? Let's see, anyone else here? Loaderman, Bad Fast. Actually, Bad Fast, who was in that pack, has not pitted yet. And he is now pitting a lap later. He won't have anyone to work with though, so this... I wonder how this strategy is going to play out in his hands. Meanwhile, here are these cars coming out. Shovelhead, 81. In that number 14 car, leading Showtime Flash, D-Bat Baseball, and Mike RPM in that 4 car Mobile 1 machine. I think we saw Motorsports fans sideways. I want to see where he is on the racetrack. There he is, losing a lot of time. He had just barely got lapped in stage 1, was able to hold on, and it fought his way up into the top 3. He was riding in the 3rd spot before the pit stops. So, running all by himself, he's going to have to do all that work again if he wants to stay in this fight. There's Bad Fast out of the pits, because those cars are going to drive right around him. It takes about a full lap for these cars to get up to speed because of these tapered spacers. Restrictor plates or whatever these cars are running to slow them down. As they close in on the 53 of Loaderman, who I believe goes a lap down here. Melvin and Ed making a little bit of contact. Nice little throwback to the COT era of NASCAR, when they used to do tandem drafting at the super speedways. Not only that, but back then the drivers used to talk to each other during the races, and I wish that was still a thing in today's NASCAR. Could you imagine all of the stuff those drivers would say to each other during the races? Matter of fact, I wonder how many of those drivers would have Ross Chastain's number on their dial, just so they can cuss at him during the race. One of the drivers spills their drink during a pit stop, they can just blame Ross for it. That'd be hilarious. Anyway, back up here, still Shovelhead leading the 38 of Flash and the 21 of D-Bat. And Mike RPM. And Motorman, who's a lap car. After getting put in the wall at the beginning of stage 2, still trying to recover from it right now, still hasn't. But he finds himself in this draft and could be in the lucky dog spot right now, if he is only one behind. He would be the lucky dog, and I believe I am still having lag issues. I guess I'll have to drop to the back of the pack and get out of the way of the leaders. But I can't do that because I am not in this race. Thankfully. Could you imagine how many wrecks we would have if I was here? Anyway, Mike going to the outside. This could be him dropping back. But I think he was actually behind D-Bat, so he might be trying to make a move, see if he can get some help from Loaderman. This could be a planned attack here from the 4 car. He's going to the outside again with a big run off 4. And Loaderman just not close enough. Mike might have a pretty fast car, but if he's doing it all by himself, that fast car, well, it won't be enough for him to do anything if no one's going to help him. Meanwhile, about 9 seconds back, we saw him pit a lap later than everybody else. That was bad fast in that Ally Chevrolet. He is running in the 5th position right now, so he's still in the top 5. In position to get some good points here at the end of this thing if he can stay where he is, even if he is running all by himself. So he's coming off turn 4 now. Let's see where the leaders are past the tri-oval. So he's not too far behind. Considering where we are in the stage, he's not that far behind. If this was early on in the stage, that would be enough to sound off the alarms. But right now, we're about close to ending the stage here. About 4 laps to go. Shovelhead came oh so close to winning the first stage. We saw a lot of drama ensue at the end of it, but right now things are looking a little more calm and conservative. We'll have to take a look at the forecast. We see 1 lapped car up ahead. Now I'm looking at bad fasts on board. It seems like his tire light is on, even though he had pitted, so I think he might have only taken fuel on that stop to do damage control so he wouldn't lose too much ground. So I'm not sure how much longer those tires are going to last, so we'll keep an eye on that. Shovelhead and Showtime Flash all over the racetrack, into the tri-oval. D-Bat looking to go to the outside. Mike's too far back to help him. Trying to build a run. I'm not sure how many more laps we got here. Yeah, it's 2 to go, so about a lap and a half for these guys. D-Bat to the outside once again. So he's just trying to see how far can that car really go with the runs he's trying to build up. That is the 32 of Motorsports Fan. In the same spot we saw him at the end of the last stage, trying to hold on and not get lapped here. 1 more lap to go. It's looking like deja vu. It is Shovelhead out in front, and it is also Motorsports Fan trying to not get lapped. But there is fewer cars in the forecast, so this should be a much calmer finish, unless something happens. Looks like the battle could be for second. D-Bat Baseball trying to get an extra point. Trying to steal a point from Showtime Flash in that second spot. Mike RPM in that 4 car in 4th. D-Bat to the outside. And Mike just, he's going to force it through the middle. And he gets second from Showtime. And Shovelhead redeems himself and gets to win stage number 2. Mike RPM, we saw him thread it through the needle. 3 wide middle at the finish line. And was able to gain 2 spots out of it. So move him up to second. Showtime Flash in 3rd, D-Bat in 4th, Bad Fast quite a ways back in 5th, 19mm 6th, Black Cross in 7th. 8th place is Nomad, 9th Elvin, 10th is Ed. So that's your top 10. Those are the drivers that are going to be getting points. Motorsports Fan stays on the lead lap in 11th place. So I believe our Lucky Dog car might be Loaderman in that 53. And yes, he is. He's the only car 1 lap down. The other cars behind are out of this race. Big Country and Hamlin Nation, multiple laps behind, in the garage with either damage or mechanical or electrical issues. As we rack them up for one final shot at the big prize at the end of this thing here at Shovelhead Showtime Flash. The 2 SHs, if I can get them correctly. Green flag waves. And it's no more time for riding around. It is game on here at Daytona. D-Bat to the outside. He's got Elvin at 51. Loaderman the 53 back on the lead lap. Oh, we got a crash down the back straightaway. 19mm. That almost looked a lot worse than it could have been, but I don't know who else was involved in that. I think Loaderman, the 53. So we'll see how race control decides on that. That's under review. We'll see. It looks like no caution being called, which is a tough break and an absolute gut punch to Loaderman and 19mm. 19mm out in front early in stage 1. Loaderman, who had just got his lap back. Nomad to the outside. Ed hip checks him into the wall. Ed might be having some lag issues. That might have been what happened to Nomad, who also deflates any chance he has at victory. So another tough break. And see the aggression pick up, and then we just see cars hit each other, and then it just gets back to calm. So it is still Shovelhead out in front ahead of Showtime Flash, then Mike RPM, then Bad Fast back up to 4th. Black Cross in 5th, D-Bat Baseball in 6th. And you see the one of Ed getting a push from Elvin. Those two have been working together since stage 2, and they're still working together. See, one lost the pack, and you see those two have reunited once again. And I'm sure that definitely wasn't planned, but I guess fate works in mysterious ways. Those two are working together once again here in stage 3. As we're down to already only 6 cars in this lead pack. There's the 8 of MFF Nomad and the 32 of Motorsports. Loaderman in the background, coming off 4. While this is going on, I would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors that are helping with the Phantom Racing League here this year. MFF Motorsports, as well as Chris's Auto and Towing LLC, is a company based out in South Carolina. So thanks to those two for providing sponsorship for us this season. We're extremely thankful for those guys, as well as the people that are supporting us here on YouTube. You can also check us out on the website. Be linked on the channel banner, as well as our Instagram and our TikTok pages. We're trying to grow those as best we can here. Been running the TikTok as of late. It's been an absolute nightmare. Just put out the hype video about a couple hours before this race started. And TikTok kept freezing on me. I guess the video was so fire that the phone just couldn't handle it. I don't know, but it's out there now, so you can go check it out at your own time. Once again, you can find everything on the website. Should be on the channel banner here on the YouTube page. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're doing this every Thursday at 9:05 Eastern Time here on YouTube, so if you want to keep tuning back in throughout the season, you know where to find us. You know what time it'll be. Anyway, back to the action. All aboard the Shovelhead Express now. He is now the conductor of this train, leading Showtime Flash. Right now, I don't think it's showtime yet for him. He's thinking the show can wait a little longer as he sits in the second spot. As he sits looking at his blueprints, trying to decide what kind of move he can make if he finds himself in this spot towards the end of the race. And also, definitely age. Bad Fast coming across on the stream now, 25 to go. So we could have 2 pit stops. Once again, this is the Phantom Racing League here at Daytona. Shovelhead out in front ahead of Showtime Flash and Mike RPM. And Bad Fast, Black Cross, D-Bat Baseball, that is your top 6. They're all in a league of their own right now. And it looks like this race will be decided amongst them. So I need to step out for a quick moment. You're not going to miss a thing. I will be right back. And we are back here at Daytona, the Phantom Racing League 2023 season opener. Got one more stage left. About 20 or so laps left. I'm looking at Bad Fast's fuel numbers. He's got about 6 laps left. I believe these guys will be coming in around that time here. As you can see, not a whole lot's really happening. It's Daytona. What do you expect? Because I'm gonna admit, I'm kind of bored. How's everyone doing tonight? Anyone got any good plans for the weekend? Did I mention you should subscribe to the channel? It would help us a lot. It'd be really cool. We're looking to take on Mr. Beast as far as subscriber numbers go. I think by the end of the year we'll have as many as he does, if not more. We'll be curing the blind, the deaf, and growing trees all at the same time. And we'll all be doing that while we're racing. So keep an eye out for that. Now, I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm thinking of dialing up Ed during the race, since I have him on call here. He is my race control. He's my messenger pigeon for this race, so I might try to call him up during a pit stop if I can. I think that's what I'll do. I'll wait for him to pit and then I'll do it, because I don't want to throw him off with Elvin pushing him currently. Looks like D-Bat's losing the draft here. Now he's got a little bit of distance between him and Blackcross to reel him back in. I hope D-Bat knows a thing or two about a fishing lure, because he's going to need one right now to reel himself. Reeling, and he's caught it. Back up to the bumper of the 24. That was a close call. Cars pitting here. It's the 32 Motorsports fan. There's Nomad's car. Then, oh crap. Ed and Elvin had already pitted and I missed it. Ah, screw it. I'm gonna try to call him here. Ed, this is Boyd and the boys up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
How's your race going? I need someone to talk to. I'm bored here.
Pretty good off the draft. We're running together right now. It's going good.
So how's strategy looking? You guys looking to make one more stop here?
Yeah, we're probably going to have to make one more stop here.
Alright, well... Alright, well, good luck out there. Hopefully you can reel him back in here. It's never say never. So, good luck. Alright, that is our in-race reporter, MFF Ed, though. Hopefully, I was able to pick up his voice there on the microphone. He's distanced himself from Elvin, who has found a new friend as a little drafting partner here. See how the leaders are doing. Flash, Bad, Fast, and Blackcross still out on track. As well as, while that's happening, Shovelhead, D-Bat, Mike RPM all making their pit stops now. Beats out D-Bat, a full head of steam, big push, massive push, too big of a push. Oh man, I don't think he liked that. D-Bat comes out in front. I think he felt bad. He's letting him go as they come out side by side. That was terrifying. Note to the post-race tech officials, if you see some fluid on the inside of Mike RPM's car, that is not Mobil 1 oil spilling all over the cockpit, so just Just be on the lookout for that. Now I think Shovelhead still in the pits here. Bad Fast and Black Cross are all coming out now. I think that was Nomad behind them. Shovelhead's still in the pits. He might have got a penalty and realized that took him out of it, so he could very well be out of this race now. Which is tough break. Let's take a look at Bad Fast here. He is currently scored as the race leader, Black Cross in second. And he's currently a second and a half ahead of Showtime Flash, running all by himself now. MJ Bross and D-Bat Baseball are fourth and fifth. We saw those two come out together. They were stuck like glue on pit exit, and Showtime is going to find himself joining that group. He needs to find a group to join so they can help him with the science project, and this is the group that'll let him in. So, that'll slide him back into the fifth spot, but he has someone to work with now. 3 engines is better than 2. 12 wheels is better than 8. So, with enough time, this trio could run down the top 2 cars of Bad Fast and Black Cross. The 2 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolets leading the pack here. Been riding on board with D-Bat quite a bit this final stage here. He's had a pretty good view of things. I've lost the intervals, but Bad Fast still out in front. 13 laps of fuel left. Okay, now he's got the leaderboard here, about 1.9 seconds ahead of Mike RPM. He's leading this pack here. Scored in 3rd place, and I believe D-Bat is now out of this race. I think we just caught a live death on stream. Put the Live League logo on the top right of your screen. We just witnessed a death in this race. D-Bat is now out. Tough break. And it's very unfortunate because, dang, he was giving me some excellent shots. And we're already getting condolences messages on the top left of my screen right now. They're all feeling very, very sympathetic to our loss here, and we do appreciate it. Just keep D-Bat in our thoughts and prayers here as he's out of this race. Shovelhead out of this race. Hamlin Nation out of this race. Let's actually look at our DNFs here. Big Country out. Shovelhead out. Of course, D-Bat out and Hamlin Nation out. Those are our 4 DNFs for this race. And definitely not how those guys wanted their season to start. So these two have lost their 3rd wheel. This was going to be a whole watch of how long were these two going to run them down. They did gain 4/10 since I last looked, but how much more could they have gained if D-Bat was still with them? And I don't even think D-Bat meant to back out because he was still up to speed. I think he just got disconnected. His engine literally blew in front of everybody. Piston heads all over the racetrack. We don't do debris cautions in this series. But man, tough break. The gap's still the same though, which this is exactly what those two did not want. Definitely did not expect either. So who is now our 5th place car? It is Motorsports Fan, who has a whole trio of cars behind him, and he's starting his own quartet off turn 4. He is the 5th place car. And if I'm correct here, these other 3 cars should also be on the lead lap. So, unofficially, That would make Ed, though, in the number 1 gear wrench car, the 6th place runner, Elvin Priest in 7th, and MFF Nomad in 8th, as we might have a battle for 5th place. And Motorsport shuts the door on Ed, though. He's going to stay in front here. We should be focused on the lead battle here. They're not really gaining any ground. It's 2 Chevys versus 2 Fords currently. We have a lap car in the forecast. I want to see who that is. That's 2 actually. It's Loaderman and 19mm. They're just trying to ride this thing out, get it to the finish, pack it up and go home. And collect the paycheck in the mail by Monday. As they are looking to be out of contention for the win, but they're still riding, hoping to get a good finish. This is a battle of attrition. We saw the amount of cars that have already DNF'd out of this race. So there's some extra points on the table for these cars to pick up if they can just make it to the damn finish. And that's what these cars are trying to do right now. Once again, Bad Fast still your leader. Black Cross in 2nd in that 24 car. Mike RPM in 3rd. Showtime Flash in 4th. Motorsports Fan is still your 5th place runner. Elvin leads Nomad to the outside. He's dialing up that radio, telling him to give me a big push. I'm going to make a move on the outside. Let's see if he's got it. It's a drag race. Down the back straightaway past Lake Lloyd into turn 3. Elvin Priest put him up into the 5th spot. Yep, that is officially 5th. Elvin Priest and MFF Nomad planned it and executed it to perfection. And that'll slide Motorsports Fan back 2 spots, as well as the 1 of MFF Ed, though. Take a look at how many laps we got here. Oh my goodness, we're almost done with this thing. It's coming down to crunch time here. Got 4 laps to go, about 3 this time. It is still Bad Fast and Black Cross out in front. And this win could very well be decided amongst themselves. Lap traffic up ahead, 19mm and Loaderman off in the distance. And it looks like they're running about the same pace as these 2 are. So they don't have to worry about that, I don't think. Once again, your top 5, Bad Fast, Black Cross, MJ Bros, Showtime Flash, and 20 seconds back, Elvin Priest in that 51 car is in the 5th spot. Rounding out your top 5, 2 to go. What does Black Cross do? Let's ride on board with him. Once again, this is going to come down to those 2 cars unless they take each other out, and that's exactly what the 4 and the 38 are hoping for. And they can fight it amongst themselves if that does happen. And I don't think Mr. H is going to want to see 2 of his wrecked race cars without a trophy at the end of it, but he's got 2 shots at it. Into the Trioval, one last time, the white flag waves, and you already see Black Cross backing it off. He's trying to build a run to set him up at the finish. Let's see what Bad Fast can do. He's going to be watching his mirror, and he's got a mirror full of that 24's front nose. Cross looks to the inside. He got the block there, but he missed this one. Black Cross to the outside into turn number 3 at a full head of steam. And he's trying to pinch that 48 down. The 48's going to try to side draft him. Side by side off of turn number 4 into the Trioval. He's trying to pinch him. He's trying to side draft him, and it's not going to be enough. Black Cross is your season opener winner here at Daytona in the Phantom Racing League. And Bad Fast will have to settle for 2nd. Mike RPM in 3rd. Showtime Flash 4th. And the battle for 5th And it looks like Elvin Priest is going to hang on to it. Nomad looking to the inside of Ed. I don't think he got it. Nope, Ed, though, is going to hang on to finish 6th. Actually, no, I think Nomad did get it. Oh my god, it's a tie! 74-42, 571. 74-42, 571. The 1 and the 8 have tied for 6th place, and Nomad gets credit for edging out the 1 car. Unbelievable. Anyway, Motorsports Fan 8th, Loaderman 9th, 19mm rounds out your top 10, but holy crap, I wish that was for the win. That was the most exciting thing I've ever seen. Most exciting thing I might have seen in this entire race. I don't want to take anything away from Blackcross. He's the one that ends up holding the trophy. He's got the win. And he'll come out of this thing, I believe, with the points lead. Holy crap, dude. So that is your race winner. So you look at the lap times here, MJ Ross with a 42.784. That is a massive tow time. And D-Bat back in the lobby. He wanted to see how this race ended. As the checkered flag has waved. And unfortunately, D-Bat wasn't able to make it to the finish. Looked like he had some sort of mechanical issue during the race. And unfortunately that he wasn't able to make it to the finish. That would have been very interesting. If Mike and Showtime were able to work with him, they would have had a better shot at running those two down. As we get our top 3 finishers into the booth for interviewing for our post-race coverage here on the Phantom Racing League YouTube channel. Alright, so now we got our top 3 finishers in the booth with me here. Gentlemen, y'all are probably gonna agree with me and say, thank fuck that's over. Who was it, Mike, that finished 3rd? Let's start with you. Yeah, it looked like you and Showtime just all you could really do is just work with each other and just try to see if you could run those top 2 down, and you had D-Bat Baseball working with you, and something happened to him and you just lost that 3rd wheel, and that pretty much poked a hole in your guys' plan, so walk me through that.
Yeah, it was. I'll just start with how the race went. I mean, it was a pretty good race. Really impressed with how everybody raced each other. There wasn't a whole lot of incidents or dirty driving or anything like that. There was a crazy end to stage 1 there with the lap car, but other than that, it was a pretty good race. Yeah, at the end there, we were coming. I was like, all right, I'm in the perfect spot. I'm leading the 2nd pack with an extra car, so I thought I had a good chance at getting the win there, and then the 21 just unfortunate circumstance lagged out there, and Flash and I gave it all we could, and just didn't have enough speed to catch him there. We were too equal with those 2 cars. Badfest had a really fast car, and they were doing a good job pushing. So overall, I'm happy with the P3, and we'll go to a fun track next week, Auto Club.
Yeah. And I think I pretty much share that same thought that we're actually gonna we got this race out of the way, the circus is over, now this season's really getting started here at Auto Club, so any idea what we can expect heading into next week?
The Auto Club is going to be awesome. Yeah, we'll be 2 and 3 wide, mixing it up, throwing sliders. I can tell you that. Judging by how we race each other in public lobbies on there, so
yeah,
it'll be a good race for sure.
Makes me wish I was out there, because I definitely love that track, and I look forward to that. Hopefully the NASCAR Heat Gods don't tear it down and put an Amazon warehouse over it. So, that's 3rd place. It's a good points day, so congrats on that. And our 2nd place finisher, basically the 2 cars that had a shot at the victory, Bad Fast, were in the in the lead for the most part. Black Cross was planning his move to get around you. Just walk me through that last lap and what you were going to try to do to hold him off.
Well, I thought he backed off too soon. I thought he was in trouble, but I was wrong. I don't know why I didn't back off with him. I guess because I thought third and fourth was going to catch us so quick. I mean, the way he backed off. And then I didn't think, I don't know. I thought he was going to stall out beside me, but he did stall out, but he had a fender in front of me when he stalled out. So I don't know. That's just
Yeah, well,
I don't have tons of experience on these restrictor plates on this game. I hardly ever run them, and just because I mean we rode in line the whole race. I didn't have the pedal down until the last 6 laps. It's just riding around, just barely even touching the gas. I mean, if everybody would just race instead of running in line, it would be more interesting. But I tried on the first stage to make a couple of runs, and everybody just wanted to stay on the bottom.
yeah. The unfortunate thing about racing at a track like this, when you're completely reliant on
Yeah,
the
and I don't
everyone
like that.
around you, and you try to make a move and no one goes with you, like that's
Yeah, I don't like it. That's
not fun.
that, I'm used to doing it on my own.
You and me both. So,
Yeah, that was a good move. I didn't really remember, but there's been a couple of actually the last couple of restrictors I've run in public lobbies. Black Cross, me and him get hooked up, and we're really fast. And I didn't even think about that until we had a good cycle there when we pitted. So we got a second and a half ahead of them on that last cycle there. So that was really good. And then he's me and him worked pretty good together. He was right on my bumper. So
alright,
I
so
guess
go ahead.
I owe him that one anyway. I wasn't gonna do anything dirty to take that one from him.
Well,
We're
one
pretty good
last,
drafting partners.
yeah, you two worked together. And one last question. Even though you came up short, unfortunately, still a good points day. Finished second. It's a good start to the year.
Yeah, it was better than what I was expecting.
That's always a good thing. So, congrats
It
on
would have been a
that.
completely different story if the 21 car didn't have engine problems there.
Right?
They were catching us quick. They would have caught us in a lap or two if he hadn't have done whatever he done, and then it would have sure enough been a race. But
Yeah. Well,
yeah, lost it at the end. But I was surprised to be up there to start with. So it's a good day, like you said, good
yeah.
points day.
So overall, good day for Bad Fast, and let's get to our race winner, Black Cross. We saw you plan that move. You were making that move on the last lap, backing it off. Just trying to time it right. Walk me through that last lap. What was going through your mind?
Yeah, I was just trying to make sure I timed the run perfectly. I didn't want to do it in turn one and turn two, so I just did it when we hit the line because I knew that going down the backstretch was easier trying to pass, and it was. I didn't think I was gonna be able to make it. I think it was gonna be a stick because usually the bottom line is the best line, but like I was just able to hold it down and get the win.
Yeah, well, must have been a I don't know what the heck I'm trying to say. It was a good move and it worked out in the end. So good to see. And now I believe he should be the points leader. I'm not entirely sure. We gotta tally that afterwards, but it's still a race win. That definitely goes a long way. Next week, Auto Club. How are you at that track? What are you expecting heading into next week?
I'd say I'm decent though. I'm not usually the best at my house usually. Everyone in here is just really so good and so fast that it really is hard. Probably, I mean, being honest, probably the only wins I'm probably gonna get is luckily with super speedways.
Yep. Well, there you have it. That is our race winner, Black Cross. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Let me try to wrap things up here. I'm gonna take a quick break here. I'll be right back. Timmer! Alright, we are back, and once again, this is Boyd and the boys in the Fox booth. Probably weren't expecting me to get you back in here. No, I shouldn't be interviewing whoever finished outside of the top 3, but I noticed you and Nomad tied for 6th. Walk me through that finish.
Yeah, well, we was coming out of 4 there. And Elvin, he was on the bottom, and I knew I had Nomad behind me. I had Motorsport behind me, and I was going to try to make the run for Elvin and get the win. And whenever I come up and I went high, Nomad decided to stop down low, and we tied, and actually a pretty exciting finish, man.
Man,
It was actually like, I was shaking after the race like I was going for the win.
I wish I could call an audible and just say that was for the win, because that was probably the most exciting thing that happened all race. Well, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, because that's what I noticed at the finish. So you can head back to the party now. Only in Phantom Racing League, where we'll be interviewing the guy that finished or tied for 6th. Oh, you weren't expecting that. So yeah, once again, thank you to everyone, if anyone joined our Daytona stream here. It's our first race of the season. Got a long way to go here. These guys are going to be battling it out all year. We got Auto Club next week. It's a big 2-mile track out in Southern California. There's going to be a lot of wide, 3-4 wide action. So hopefully they get that racing. Hopefully they don't bulldoze into a short track by then. You can tell those bulldozer crews to hold off for at least another week. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. If you don't want to miss the next race and also any race after that, want to subscribe to the channel. Once again, we are doing races every Thursday night at 9:05 Eastern Time. It's always the same time every Thursday, so mark that on your calendar so that way you don't miss out. So I'm going to head on out here. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all take it easy.